So the near-death experiencer, they get this look at the self, the material world self. They get a really stark view of that because it happens to them, and they spend decades, you know, I did, trying to figure out what happened. You know, people who drink ayahuasca with the healing medicine, they can have a heck of a night and never go back. And the deep meditators, they're the same. You get those deep vibrations, and you leave your body. And so I was a fireman. I'm retired now, but I was a fireman my whole life. And you know, it's a fun job. You get into all kinds of trouble. And I got exposed. I got pretty sick, ended up in the hospital. Things didn't go well. And in the middle of the night in intensive care, I left my body. And I was flying through a star-filled realm. There were colored stars all around me. And I was this huge expanded cloud or balloon of awareness. I was home, and I felt euphoric. And these beings all around me, these stars, were just welcoming and loving, and it was wonderful. And I couldn't help but think, how in the heck did I forget who I really was? It was just this master trick that I was this earth guy, and I had all these problems. Well, I didn't have any problems, but you know, I was this earth guy, and this is rough down here. And I'm flying along, and then I landed. I landed in a place that was real, it was firm, it was solid, it had indirect lighting, there was machines there, and there were beings there. There were these 3 hooded guys, and they were just stoked to see me. They were bouncing around and asking questions and giggling, and I felt wonderful in their presence, and I was confused, and then there was this taller guy. He seemed to be in charge, and he was wispy and kind of like a cactus, and he had this huge smile on his face. And we had lots of interactions, and it was fun, it was light. And this movie, Communion, this scene when he's with these guys, the only thing I would change is that these guys had big smiles. They were the friendliest guys in the world. But everything else fits. You know, these movies are instructing us. So I couldn't stay. We had some conversations that were fun and stuff, but I couldn't stay. They told me I had to go back, and I went back just like this. The whole dimension just seemed to fade, and I dropped away. And I was back, and it was unhappy for a few days. Then you learn to keep it quiet after a while. And there was some books that helped. I kept it quiet for about 15 years, and there's some books that really helped. And in 2010, right after I retired, I saw this video and I got this book. I do not know why this was led to happen. And it's about DMT and how our pineal gland makes DMT, and it kind of is the seed of the soul. It moves us into other dimensions. And Dr. Strassman had 70 volunteers with the New Mexico University, and he gave them DMT. And they went, chapter 13 and 14, they went to the same place I went, saw similar beings, had similar descriptions of how things were going. And, you know, they had a space, they weren't surprised. It was unpsychedelic. There were details. Was one main guy, and the others were orderlies or disorderlies. That's a complete fit. And I couldn't help but think aliens. Edgar Cayce, in his, I'd read some of his stuff, and he said he would leave his body to go get to do a reading. He would move in his Jacob's ladder through these other dimensions, and he would see these hooded beings everywhere on the staircase. They're all along moving between these different realities. And, you know, I think they're natural beings, and our ancestors saw them as such. And it wasn't a bunch of people telling campfire stories. You know, they were seeing these things. They're close to the earth, and we were more able to pick up on these things.